everyone, I'm Reg of Tea Time Plans and welcome back to my channel. I have been getting a lot of questions about my digital Warbinder from friends and members of the Warbinder group, so today I'm going to talk about how I've currently set it up. Just a brief introduction for those who don't know yet, a Warbinder is basically similar to a faith journal. The term was derived from a beautiful Christian movie called War Room, but instead of a war room, you have a journal that you can bring anywhere with you. So it basically holds your prayer requests, memory verses, your quiet time notes, sermon notes, and the likes. This is the third year that I'm going to have and use a war binder. A few years back, before joining the planning and journaling community, I already kept a spiritual journal and a separate notebook for my quiet time notes. Since switching to digital, I got excited when I realized that I can have it with me anywhere instead of leaving it at home. I could have used any default GoodNotes template notebook, but I preferred to have one with tabs because I wanted to pattern it from the traveler's notebook I used to have for my Warbinder for the past 2 years. I just transferred the sections that I already have in my traveler's notebook Warbinder to this digital one. As you can see, I already have it open here. I'm using the GoodNotes 5 app to annotate on this notebook from an Etsy shop called Luna Planner Co. I bought this notebook when I was trying to look for a notebook that had tabs that I can use for note-taking. So, let's start. For the cover and the notebook label, I did the lettering for this in Procreate and then I just exported it and then imported it here in GoodNotes. As you can see, the notebook has 7 sections and I have grace, memory verses, reading notes, quiet time, verse journal, prayer journal, and sermon notes. So let's go to the grace section first. I don't have anything in here yet, but what I plan to do with this is just write down lyrics, quotes, or any random find that shows God's grace and His different attributes. I know other people have a different approach on what they put on the gray section, but basically that's what I have been doing since 2018. Next, we have my memory verses section. I used to write down the verses before that really speak to me, but right now, I'm planning to just import verse images that I get from the YouVersion Bible app. I'm going to show you here. I can tap on verses or just get the daily verse image that's available in the app and copy and paste it in this section. I also have a reading notes section. As you can see, I don't have any pages inserted in here yet, but I plan to write down important insights I will be getting from the different Christian books that I'm planning to read this year. I do have a separate notebook which I call a productivity notebook, and it also has a reading notes section, but I want to compartmentalize and put all the things about God in my Warbinder. The other notebook can only contain reading notes from self-help books or the other books that I'm reading. The fourth section is for my quiet time. I'm going to cover this because I'm not really the type of person who shares all of my quiet time notes because for me, it's really private unless there's nothing really personal or specific that I've written down. It should be between me and God. As you can see, I just divided the page and I add the date, day, and the title of the devotional that I'm doing for the day. I also copy the main Bible verse and put a quick reflection or realization. I share about my devotions whenever I feel this little nudge from God to be able to share to other people as well. The next one is my verse journal section. I got this scripture writing prompt from sweetblessings.com. Not sure if I pronounced it correctly. I'll include the link to her website below, and this is something that I planned to do last year but I failed, so right now I'm praying for consistency to be able to do this year. For day 3, for example, the prompt is 1 Thessalonians 5 verses 1 to 4. So I already accomplished day 1 and day 2, and it's just really simple and all handwriting. I don't like putting too much stickers or decorations. I prefer it to be simple and straightforward. I've heard a lot of people complaining about GoodNotes crashing, and that's something I don't want to happen while I'm having my quiet time or prayer time. So I just keep things as minimal as possible, as long as I'm able to do what I need to do for the certain section or page. Like in this case, write down the verses that are prompted to me each day. And then I have my prayer journal. So my prayer journal section is the second to the last in my war binder. So I just included a quote that I got from Pinterest in here. It says here that our prayers may be awkward, our attempts may be feeble, but since the power of prayer is in the one who hears it and not in the one who says it, our prayers do make a difference. So it's just a reminder that my prayers are not in vain, no matter how long the wait might be for me for the Lord to answer, but He answers every prayer in His perfect time. And then below I just have a quick legend in here. Orange for unanswered prayers, and yellow if there's a progress in the item that I have been praying for, especially for prayer requests that are a few months or years away. And I like taking note if there's a progress about it because it just shows that God is really moving and He's listening to my prayers. And then if it's highlighted in green, it means that it's an answered prayer. So I'm just going to cover this. As you can see, I just created different sections for each month. I'm covering the January part because I have private stuff in my prayer list. I have February and March in here, and if I zoom it in, you'll see that this left portion says prayer requests. So I just write down my prayer requests under that. And then the right section says answered prayers. So if there's something that I want to remember, even if it's just progress, I write down the date of the progress and what happened and mark the prayer request with a yellow highlighter. So I already made the pages for the first half of the year and will be making the pages for the next 6 months at the end of June. The last section is the sermon notes. So in this video, it's still empty because I filmed this on the first or second day of January. And the last time that I've been to church before that was on the 29th of December. So I already have a few pages now filled out. I can insert it somewhere on the screen, what the current sermon notes section look like right now. So I really love taking down sermon notes. I've been doing it since I was 16 or 17 on paper, and it's been so helpful. I stopped when I started working. I know it's not ideal and it made me feel bad. I felt guilty when I started taking down notes on the notes app in my phone because people kept looking at me as if I was browsing Facebook or texting while the service was going on. But now that I have an iPad and the manner of writing them down is pretty similar to how I wrote with pen and paper before, I can take down notes properly right now. So the last pages are template pages that I have. I will be including the link to this notebook below, so if you want the same notebook to use as a digital war binder, you can do it. Actually, you can use any tabbed notebook from any Etsy shop, but I just really prefer this one from Luna Planner Co. I really love how people are messaging me, telling me that they're really inspired to do what I'm doing right now, which is switching to digital or having a digital war binder versus the paper war binder. Oh, before I forget, there's a small tab here that takes you to the front page or the index page of the notebook. So that's pretty much it. If you have questions about my war binder or if you just want to talk about starting one, feel free to leave them in the comment section or message me on my Instagram or Facebook page. The links are down below as well, and I'll try my best to answer it as soon as I can. And I look forward to talking about tips and tricks with you and how the Lord is blessing you with your digital war binders. I hope and pray that everyone's having a good year so far despite the many bad or negative news that we see on social media and on television. If you like this video, please don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe if you haven't yet. You can also turn on your notifications so you'll know when I uploaded a new one. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!